Good morning, Resale Rabbit here. It is about 4 a.m. and it's time for a warehouse sale. Look at that, we already have someone waiting in the parking lot. Just kidding, that's my truck. I have to move that. It's that time of year where in the morning I'm wearing a winter coat and shorts because it's gonna be hot later today, but it's chilly this morning. But I haven't worn my winter coat since last winter, and I found a tiny Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles toy in my pocket. So let's walk through the sale, show you what all we have here. Starting over here, we got pet food. I think I overpaid on this pallet because this is basically all of it. We've got one box of treats left, and I think I paid like 600 bucks for it. We're selling the flats for 10. Everything here is obviously $10. I don't know how well these will go. They're sold in multi-packs of these online. They come out to about $10 a bag, but we're selling them individually, so maybe that would be like $15, $20 a bag. We've got cat food. We've got bags of dry food here. I need to fill in this space yet. And then just more odds and ends through here. All sorts of different stuff. This will probably go quick. And an endoscope. This is a cool lamp, but it's missing the harp. So it would look like that. Whoever buys it will need to get, you can find harps pretty cheap. Goodwill often has them. We've got Halloween costumes. All of these came from Party City. I'm tired if you can't tell. All of these came from Party City except these two. They came from Sam's Club last year, and the princess ones there. I got a pallet of those last year. But the rest of these are from Party City. I've got no cost in them. And then a whole bunch of Halloween stuff here. This is all Walgreens. A lot of it is Nightmare Before Christmas. There's a lot of Nightmare Before Christmas mixed in here. We've got Squishmallows. Most of these seem to be Halloween themed. Nightmare Before Christmas, that guy, all sorts of different ones there. We've got Halloween candy here. We've got, these will be $2. The napkins, I'd imagine we're gonna sell out on these because we sold over half of them last time, which was a couple sales ago. I see one that's kind of open. I guess we're gonna have Packers napkins in the break room. It was a couple sales ago, maybe 2 or 3 sales ago, and we had cups too, and we cleared out most of them. I wanted to save the rest after the end of that sale for when it was Packer season. Same with these cups. We've got hopefully the last of these. I keep finding more, and then I'm gonna put one more here because I've got the duct tape, the candy corn duct tape. More stuff through here. Pretty much everything in the center is going to be Amazon, or it's going to be the Halloween stuff from Walgreens. There are some other odds and ends, like the Packers hats, or some of these garden things came from a separate purchase. More stuff here. This will go fast. So we're gonna have, because there's a lot of big stuff, with this going really fast, it's gonna be a large opening on the table. This backpack goes, now a third of the table is already empty. So we're gonna have to really be on this on keeping these tables stocked today. Today is $10 day. We're doing a double $10 day. So tomorrow will also be $10 day. Coming around here. We'll skip this aisle because I'm blocked. Garbage bags, $10 a roll. These are like the big contractor bags. And then just more Amazon stuff through here, where the tables look really nice and neat for now. They're not gonna look like this much longer. A few more hours at least. In here we've got more stuff. These came out of a storage unit, where I bought a unit that was a company that made stuff like this. So I decided to throw those in the sale. There are a few other odds and ends from them going in this sale as well. And then just more stuff. I think all of this is from that Walgreens that we have over there. These are cool. These, I actually bought these on Amazon, and we were giving them away because the public school district here switched to clear backpacks only, and those are the ones that we weren't able to give away, so we're just gonna sell them to get rid of them. I feel weird selling something that I was donating, but this was not like I purchased these. It was not like someone donated the funds to buy these or anything like that. So that makes it okay, but it still feels weird. And then we got a bunch of toys here. We've got, and then I already went through that. So then we get special buy. If you watched the last video, I own a Rollo printer to make these, and yeah, never buy a Rollo printer. I will be very vocal about that. So we don't really have any special buy stuff. I made a sign here that says we're not really doing much for special buy due to technical difficulties. I am going to continue. I threw it in the trash yesterday because I was angry. I took it out of the trash, and I'm going to try to investigate this more. But before I do that, I need to get everything done here. So like filling in that area, and if there's anything else I need to do. I thought there were a couple of things that I had noted to myself. But once we are ready to go up here, carts and signs are outside, we are done, then I can start trying to figure out special buy. I've got a lot of these, 2 pallets of them. Hopefully they do well. What else? This area is open. I was gonna put larger special buy items there. We'll see if that happens. But back here, we've got like this, some skeletons. Those are gonna be special buy if I can get the thing working. Here is a pallet. These were special buy before. I'm just gonna put these out for $10 a day, whatever the day's price is. But I've got a pallet of these. I think I'm gonna sell them by the case. So I'll have to figure out how many are in there. I would imagine 12 of these, so 144 little bottles, and I'll probably sell it for 20 bucks or something like that to get rid of these. I didn't actually want to buy these. They were just on a pallet with something else I wanted. So this is clothing that came from that place too. Some of it's stuff that just isn't going to sell, but some of these are nicer sweatshirts and they don't have any printing on them, so I feel like they'll be worth selling. We've got 2 $10 Gaylords and a cart here ready to go. And then in here, we've got another $10 day Gaylord. And these 4 pallets have not been gone through yet, so there will be more $10 day stuff. Ben's gonna be doing that today. So we should be good on inventory today, and it really just depends on how busy we are. If we get through all of those, or if that will stretch out over the first couple of days of the sale. If you're following the trains, we're doing another train auction here. This will go online after the sale is over. I think he's at 350 or so train cars here. We will probably get another 200 in after the sale's over. Also got all of this cardboard needs to be put into there. All right, this area is now filled in. I like this. It's a t-shirt. There are more of them on there. And the duct tape is up here. Now we've got signs on here. We've got the special buy sign up. I got a sign for these and it's in the system. So now all I have to do is get carts and signs outside and I can focus the rest of my energy on trying to figure this out. So I'm getting ready to send the text message here. Basically I can type what I want. It adds the business name and the stop to opt out on the bottom. Well, that's annoying. Square will only let you send text messages between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m., which is weird. So I have it scheduled to go out at 9 a.m. So it is 6:30. That means I've got half an hour before I do the morning walkthrough video and an hour and a half before we open. So I've got the rest of the morning to work on this. All right, we are working. You know, this is a different Rollo printer. I forgot, I got a couple of these in a storage unit, so I went and dug through the pallet of the stuff from that storage unit, and it's working. I still plan on replacing it, but this will get us through this sale. Unfortunately, I don't have enough time to get a full special buy area. I have to do the video in 13 minutes, so it's just gonna be light the first day. So we got the skeleton set in here, we got the wreath, a couple other odds and ends. I'm gonna leave this sign up here for now. I did change it. I have to go get it out of my printer, but as I was saying, for the sale, it's just for the first couple of days. So that'll be my project today, getting special buy stuff done. There, fixed. So I'm about to do the morning video. That's in about 5 minutes. And then I will get to work some more on this, because other than that, we are ready to open. All right, live video is done. It is 7:12, so we got about 45 minutes or so before we have to get started. I'm also getting rid of the last of the greeting cards, $24.99 per box. When those sell, at some point in either this video or the next one, I will go through and find out how much I made on all of them, because we were special buying these, like actually, there's right here. Yeah, 4 for $1. We were special buying these. And I got the pallet of them for free, and I've probably made $600-700 so far on them. All right, we open in 3 minutes. Got not a lot of cars here. Not a great sign, but we haven't even started yet, so we'll see. It is 8:21 a.m. We're at $110 in sales. I pretty much say this every start of the warehouse sale, but remember that time we had like $4,000 in the first half hour? Let's do that again. That was nice. Look at all this open space. I'm currently getting rid of cardboard. If you saw the last video, you saw how this is a mountain here. I still have this and that to get rid of. And we are all emptied out. Ready for the next batch later on. So we found this little cowboy hat. It's made for a person, but I tied that off. It's going to go on my cats. I'm excited to go home tonight and try this. So I'm told someone abandoned a washer and dryer behind our building, so I'm gonna go investigate. Oh, it's an old set. At least it was something metal. Like, I'll post that on Marketplace for free. Someone will come pick it up. At least it's not extra work for me. It is dead in here. It's shocking being this dead on the opening day. So we've got like 5 or 6 pallets back here that are like this. Ben was injured for a little while, so he could only get about halfway down. So these need to be gone through as well. So I went through one of them here and brought a bunch of it up front, but in it was this. It's a very heavy box I saw on ISBN, so something for books. Right here. This book is going for about $100 on eBay. So eBay pulled one of my listings because it, let's see, it will pose an unacceptable risk to the national security of the United States. It is right there. It's a Verizon wireless 3G hotspot. This thing. And it's been listed for 5 years almost. When did I list it? It's not going to show me on this page, is it? Let's see. 4 years. Well, yeah, almost 5 years. January of 2021 this was listed. And now apparently they're considering... This thing was never going to sell. It was $14.99. I don't even know why I didn't appeal. But they rejected the appeal. So that is going to be in here. Is this it? No, it's the BlackBerry for some reason. There it is. That's wild. You know, I love eBay, and I've got so many great things to say about eBay, but sometimes I wonder what's going on there. A mobile Wi-Fi hotspot. In fact, here is a 4G one that I use all the time. Is apparently now a threat to national security. Obviously, something in there went wrong where their AI thought it was something else, but you would think when I appealed it that an actual person would have looked at it. I'm not worried about it. It did not sell in almost 5 years at $14.99. Is there even a 3G network left anymore? So that doesn't bother me, but if it was something nicer like mine, I would have been a little annoyed. By the way, I'm working on something right now. Something that's been in the pipeline for a good while now, and I am so excited to tell you guys. I can't tell you yet, but we're getting very close. Maybe in the next video, just because, you know, figuring out when the videos will launch compared to when I can announce it. I'm so excited though. All right, I'm sick of this cart. This wheel does not turn freely like that. Nothing. And I've tried picking stuff out. It's plastic, so I can't hit it with a blowtorch, so we're gonna get rid of it. First thing we gotta do is drill that out, and hopefully the bit that I have is for metal. And now, I should be able to get a punch and pound it the rest of the way out. Oh, I need some pliers. And we are out. So the issue is the hair is getting into, this should rotate into the bearing. So you see that's what it looks like after drilled out. Now we gotta get a new wheel on here. And now we'll go in here and we got a new wheel. This one, instead of being riveted in, is bolted in. It's weird that that comes off, but it should still be fine. The bearing's inside of there. All right, so it is spread out a little too far. You can see the threading just barely comes down. So I'm going to try and get this somewhere on it to shrink that down, and that should be good. Now it looks a little weird because the wheel doesn't match, but that spins and that spins. And this one, it doesn't seem to spin as nicely, but it spins freely, so it'll be much better. So I'm gonna flip this up. It wasn't doing that before. It was just stopping as soon as you let go. So the total cost on this was, I think, about $8. I think these ones are about $8. The ones for the front that have the hole, so you just have to pull that nut off, and like this whole spindle and everything is included as part of it. Those I think are about $15. So you can drill those out too, but for the extra few bucks, I'd rather get the whole assembly. It's not really worth it to replace all the wheels on the cart financially, but it's one less thing getting thrown away. I mean, at least this would be recyclable, but I'd rather not throw it away. So you can see it here, and then that's one that I replaced, I don't know, at some point within the past year. From my understanding, not all cart wheels are created the same, and the cheap ones, they're not gonna last that long. But that's more of an issue for businesses where their carts are being used every single day, 365 days a year. Our carts are used 4 times a year when we have a warehouse sale. So longevity isn't as big of a deal for me, simply because it's not getting used as much. A regular full-time, open always retailer only got a few years out of it. We'd probably get 15 years out of it, which is more than enough for me. I'm wondering if maybe I should put one of these outside tomorrow. See if someone will buy it. Pretty rough day. Finished at 43.24. We're all reset now. We essentially brought a whole pallet out towards the end of the day. The TV sold. Fun fact, I got that TV for free. It had sold in the auction and the person never picked it up, so I just put it there. $20 sold. The skeleton set here sold for $100. We sold 3 of these. And then over here, we sold 8 of those, 20 of those, and I don't remember how many of these. We refilled the candy once. Candy did all right. Halloween stuff, we're not really tracking it, but it looks like a lot of it's still here. I put 2 more boxes out, but that's where we're at now. I'm gonna call it a night and head home, but tomorrow morning, I'm gonna try and add some more stuff here. There's a football game tonight, Thursday night football. It's not a game that I'm super excited to watch, but I don't have a lot of self-control when it comes to football. So we'll see if I go to bed at a reasonable time. Since I've been up since 3 a.m., I feel like I will fall asleep at least during the game, but also I might not, and it might be like midnight before I go to bed, and then that will be a problem. Before we move on tomorrow, though, I've got a very important update for you. This town ain't big enough for the 2 of us. This one really did not like it, which is why she's running away from me right now. So I wasn't able to get a video, but I'll show you a couple of pictures. It is Tuesday. It's about 6:30 in the morning. So I'm gonna bring carts and signs and stuff out, and then figure out what I'm gonna do this morning. So it looks like our internet is down again. I am getting ready to get rid of Spectrum. At home, it's great. Never any issues. I love Spectrum. Here, it's terrible. Routinely goes down. When it is working, it's often slow. and they have sent someone out and said, oh, there's nothing wrong with the system. So I don't know what the deal is. There's way too much going on here. I think I'm gonna need to get someone over here. And also, this one is not lighting up, no matter which spot I put it in. If I switch these, that cord lights up no matter where it goes. This one does not. So that could be our issue. All right, so we're gonna be kind of limited today. The cash registers are working off of the little Verizon wireless hotspot. My computer has internet. If it's wired, it seems to be fine. I was planning on doing some eBay listing today, but there's no wired connection over there. That's on Wi-Fi. I doubt that one's working. So in the eBay area, it says we got Wi-Fi, but this says otherwise. I gotta sell more junk. I had a grill laying around. I posted for 25 bucks just to get rid of it on Marketplace. And the guy bought it. But he then spent like an hour here, bought another like $50 or $60 worth of items, and then bought a vacuum for 130 bucks. This is so weird. The new Rollo printer, initially, they were printing just fine. Then skip a couple, print a couple, skip one, print one. No rhyme or reason to it, but then there were times where it was skipping a whole bunch of them in between. And it keeps thinking it's out of paper. Yep, out of paper. It also printed way more than what I told it to print 19. I finally canceled it when I gave up, but then I counted them and there were like 24 of them. By the way, today was even worse. $2,600. We close in 15 minutes. Obviously, the lack of special buy is affecting things, but not to that degree. We don't get that much special buy. I mean, if we had a full special buy area, maybe we'd have another $1,000 today, maybe. And that would put us at $3,900. I don't get it. The last sale made sense because we had crap for inventory. Because remember, we got screwed over on that Amazon load and it was all low dollar stuff. It wasn't what we purchased. This time we've got much better inventory. I don't know what it is. Plus all the Halloween stuff. I don't get it. When times were good, this was about the first few hours, maybe the first half of the first day. When times were bad, this was about the first day. This is the first 2 days. I think I give up trying to figure it out. I think we're just gonna go down with the ship. I feel like this is the sale of everything that could possibly go wrong is going wrong, and it just makes no sense to me. On a more positive side, shout out to Pablo. I bought some toner for my printer. Apparently it was from a viewer. That's happened a few times, and it's always fun when it happens. Last time it happened, and the only other time that I specifically remember, I bought a remote. You know, what baffles me more than anything is someone who will go into a small business and try to steal from them. That is just... Mitch told me 2 stories, which I'm going to tell you on the drive home. Number 1 is basically that. Someone came up, and this is a common story that he tells me. Someone came up and brought an item from the special buy section, smaller item, in a brown box, and they put it on the table face down, and we're so confused when it wasn't $10 because they were trying to get us to run it as a $10 item, not a special buy item. And so many times this happens, and I just don't stealing from a big company, Home Depot or Walmart or Amazon is wrong, but I understand the justification that people have for it, that they're $1 billion company. They're not going to notice $20, $30, $50 missing. Wrong, but I get how they're justifying it to themselves. But how do you justify stealing from a small business? That's like the worst of the worst. But anyways, and the funny part is her and her mother, I guess she was in her 40s and her mom was in her 60s, Mitch said. She tried to claim, why is this so much? It should be $10 and, throw a big fit. Her mom had another special buy item. So Mitch told her, well, this is special buy, so it's not going to be $10. And that item there, and pointed to the mom's item, also isn't $10. And the mom says, oh, I know, I'm still getting it. So that means at least the mom knew. I think, putting it face down like that, where the tag is hidden, they knew exactly what they were doing. The other story, I wish I filmed Mitch explaining this. Someone brought up some dog poop bags and complained about the price. Is this really $10? The usual. And Mitch gave her the whole spiel about how, if it's not worth it today, it'll be cheaper tomorrow and it'll eventually sell whenever it gets to the price someone's comfortable paying. And she basically said, well, it's your responsibility, or you're not taking accountability. Your responsibility is to only have $10 day items out on $10 day, which is comical. And Mitch said something, well, you know, sometimes items slip through the cracks and we miss it, and, you know, continued on. And she got really upset, and she finally threw it at him and said, fine, I'll take it. She bought it anyway after complaining about the price. And then another customer who saw this whole interaction went up to Mitch and said, wow, what a witch. But she didn't say which. Now, it's funny to me that she bought it anyways, but I do agree. A little box of dog poop bags isn't worth $10. That's the whole format of these sales, is the price drops every day. So if it's not worth it today, maybe it'll be worth it tomorrow. And, you know, we try to go through, the reason we try to go through and just have $10 day stuff on $10 day is simply because we don't have enough space to put everything out. But it just shocks me that some of these things, they just, I don't know why I still get surprised, but I'm still surprised every day. It is Saturday morning. It's a brisk 48 degrees out, but it's gonna be hot out today. It should hit 80, which is surprising because it's 48 degrees out right now. All right, we're a few minutes away from doing the live video. I put these out, the hand sanitizer, I mentioned them. We're doing $19.99 for a case, or 144 of these bottles in it. My cost was essentially nothing because it came on a pallet with something else that I wanted. So there was basically no one out there, so I've been listing. I listed all these American history coins, but I found one that I want to keep. The American Red Cross organized. For those of you who don't know, I am a Red Cross disaster volunteer, and I am the lead for 3 counties. So this coin is kind of cool to me. I'm gonna hang on to it. I'm really running out of places to put stuff. There we go. Here's a tip with these coins. A lot of people would put all of them in one basket. I've got 1 coin per basket. So each basket has just 1 coin. That'll make it very quick and easy to find when it sells, because, you know, trying to figure out exactly which one it is. The other option would be putting it in bags with some sort of SKU number on it, just 1 through, I think I have 21 or 19 of them, 1 through 19. Could do that too, but it's gonna be so much easier. Just grab a basket and then just grab the only coin you see. It doesn't seem like it makes sense since they're all in different locations, but it does, because it'll speed up the shipping time when I'm pulling orders. Also, there were 4 people in line when we opened. At least one of them, or I guess at least 2 of them, because I heard them talking, have been here since before 7 a.m. when I did the morning video. I could hear them through the door. And then there's just nobody else. I think these are gonna have to go out probably tomorrow. End of the day today, we'll take out those back tables and put out like 5 pallets. These are obviously too tall, so I'm cutting them down. I hate these really thick wall ones. I like the ones I can just cut with a knife. I'm using a jigsaw to cut these because that's what I have here right now. So I can't even see where I'm walking. The internet went down again in the middle of a transaction. Don't worry, I have a professional. It's probably gonna cost exactly whatever we make in this sale to fix the internet here. Anyways, can you tell I'm stressed? The internet went down halfway through, and so this was earlier this morning. She came in and said she was charged twice. She showed her phone with her banking app, and it shows 2 charges. So I went in the system, and it only charged her once. And I looked, they're both pending. This has actually happened before. I don't remember when, but I remember this specific thing where someone was charged twice, and I could only find it once in the system. And I said, just keep an eye at their pending. It probably just tried to authorize twice for some reason. Keep an eye on it. If they both post, let us know. And a couple days later, she was in and she told us, yeah, just one of them posted, so we're good. That's probably what happened here. But this woman, she was very upset. She wanted to return the items. And I said, well, we don't do returns unless there's an issue with the item. And she said, well, there is an issue. I was charged twice. And I don't think I get her logic here, because so it was about 30 bucks. I think it was like 29 something. 30 bucks times 2. So in her eyes, she spent $60 on this merchandise and wanted to return it to get $30 back. I don't know if it was some sort of scam. I can't imagine how she would be scamming us, but I basically told her no. I said, we're not going to refund it. I said, if there's an issue with the item, we're willing to swap it out. And it was just Halloween stuff. They were brand new. There wasn't going to be an issue, but I said, if there's an issue with the item, we're happy to swap it out for you. But we're not going to do a return. And I told her, I said, even though I know they're not both going to post, I said, if both transactions post, give us a call. And I pointed out our phone number on the receipt. We will make it right. We'll see what happens. They're not both going to post, so we'll see if she tries to Photoshop one on or something. What I would do if that was the case, I wouldn't accept a screenshot or anything because Photoshop exists. I would tell her to come in, and then I can view it directly on the banking app. I even made a screenshot of this. I'm in Paint. Her transaction was this one, $9.41 on a credit card for $29.54, and that's the only one in this time frame that was that amount. And we can actually track credit cards in here based on basically see how much has been purchased on this credit card in history at our business. So I can see if they're a regular customer. So after she'd left, I was curious and I looked, and it was her. I don't know that it was her first time here, but it was her first time here using that credit card. If someone uses 2 different credit cards, it doesn't link them or anything. But anyways, before all that started, I was going to show you something cool. Going in the eBay room here. Where'd it go? Right here. Do you remember this? This is that book set, that brand new textbook that we found on the pallet, I think the day before yesterday. I listed it on eBay yesterday, and it just sold 180 bucks. Of course, it's cool that it was a decent sale and it sold fast, but what I think is extra cool is part of the deal with that truckload is they filter out anything over $80 in retail value, and that brings the price of the load down for me. We don't need stuff that's over $80 because most of it's going through the sale anyways. And they said they don't have anything that actually scans it. They're just kind of visually doing it. But that was missed. Remember the hoarder house in Nebraska? Well, while I was there, one of the things that I got was like a little bigger than a shoebox, and it was full of vintage button-up shirts. And I've been putting off listing them. I don't know clothing. I didn't think they would sell. Didn't feel like listing them. I just listed, I'm actually still in the process. I've listed about half of them. Sold one for $150 and one for $50 instantly. I got an offer on one that I listed for $400, I think, of $220, and I really thought about taking it. I countered at $350. We'll see if they counter back. Ben got his payback. Anytime I see like a little ball or something, I'll throw it at him. He found a whole box of them. So cutting these down, my jigsaw blade broke on this one. I was bending it too far because I was trying to get it from the inside where I couldn't reach around there. So we'll get what we can here. And then we've got some that didn't make it into the last sale that can go up, and then we topped them off with stuff on this one. You missed. You know what? I don't feel like walking today. It's kind of nice.
Probably hit a wall.
I feel like this should be my mode of transportation wherever I go.
Right down a hill into a pond.
Yeah, mule. Yeah.
Table might fall on in.
Don't hit the wall. Where'd you learn to drive?
No.
This is the worst Uber ever. 1 star. Oh.
That's gonna hurt you. No, it's good.
Some of our Halloween spiders are pretty cool, but I am not a huge fan of this one. Yeah, I don't like that one. He's hairy. Why is he hairy? I didn't kill it, but it is inside of this garbage bag. Please, for the love of God, don't crawl out of this thing and up my arm. Did I mention that I have a big phobia of spiders? Yeet! Alright, I think we're good. To the extent that I used to leave my porch lights on, you know, so people would be less likely to break into my house. But the lights drew in the flies, which were food for the spiders. So there were a ton. It was like arachnophobia around my door. Like they would just come down on their webs. So I decided to stop leaving those lights on because I would rather have my house broken into than get a spider.
Because we're a civilized society.
If only they made that packaging, you know, clear so you could see what the sheets look like without having to completely remove them from the package. That would be nice, wouldn't it?
Ooh, I'm gonna play a sheet set, dude. Oh,
You realize you just made more work for yourself, right? You had it put away.
Now we good.
Oh yeah, the total sales today were like $4,600. It was awful. We're going out of business. Yada yada yada, the usual. On to another crappy day tomorrow, but at least we're having fun. It is about 6:45 Sunday morning. It's exciting because we have football starting at 8:30 because there's a game in Ireland, I think. But my phone didn't charge last night, so I'm at 12% from the little bit of charging I did this morning. So I won't be able to film much for probably at least an hour. All right, we open in 15 minutes. And I hammered out a bunch of special buy stuff. We get this lamp here, scratching post, a bike, canopies. I added those yesterday. Garbage bags, probably by the case, some witches, and a skeleton. Somebody requested all the bags of these that we have because they are doing a parade. Those canopies are gone already. I priced them really cheap because they are uninspected customer returns. They are sold as is. I haven't even opened them. So I did $25 a piece, or maybe even $20 a piece. But they have been here for like a year and a half. There was a pallet. There are two special buy pallets that just kind of the stuff that I don't really want to put out that's been sitting here for years. And you know, some of them we add stuff to it over time. My goal is to get rid of them in this sale. If they're not gone in this sale, we're just going to auction them off after the sale. I'm not going to hang on to them longer. I have a problem hanging on to stuff too long. I normally don't show eBay sales on here. They go on Patreon, but I'm not actually pulling the order now, and that's what I do on Patreon. But anyways, those shirts, $125. I had it at $150, so that's so it striked out to $125. $60, $50, and $150. Less than 24 hours, and I almost made $400 on them. Well, gross 400. It was like 380. After shipping and fees, it's probably going to be more like 300, but still. I shouldn't have been putting those off so long. I didn't think they were going to sell. I also strongly considered putting them in the auction just as a box of vintage shirts. And we do well with, you know, bulk vintage clothing. It probably would have gone for like $100, but obviously a lot more on eBay here. So it's 8:44. We're already at $731. Looks like the canopies were $25 each. We sold a dehumidifier for $50. This is another thing. Those dehumidifiers have been here for like 4 years. I just keep forgetting about them because they're in the Amazon area, and I don't sell on Amazon anymore. And then a skeleton for $19.99. It's actually decent traffic in here today. I'm pretty happy with it. Vikings lost. We're a little over $4,000 on the day so far. Today's a good day. So we had the candy split into higher dollar day and lower dollar day. The higher dollar day candy is all out. These can wait. But for lower dollar day candy, it's still decent candy. I think we'll go these. We'll wait. Oh, that smells like maple. We'll wait on this bin. And stuff like this can go out. I think this is still worth $6. And bags like this in the store are probably $6.99, $7.99, so that might be a little bit more. We should be fine with this. Had a little scare there. If you've been following the channel, you know that we had some of those giant southern cockroaches come in on a load a handful of months ago. Another reason why I don't buy from that company anymore. But also we've had mouse problems in the past. Thankfully, not in a long time. But Ben said he saw something about this big move really fast under a pallet. We ended up finding out it's a cricket, so not too worried about that. But we had to move this thing to get to it. So now there's cardboard under the leak and kitty litter soaking up the oil. Oh, and a few people have commented on the oil going into that drain. Reasonable concern. That drain is not connected to anything. If there's any water on the floor, it goes into there and just eventually evaporates. There is no connection to plumbing systems or sewer systems from that. So this box has been here for like a year and a half. Turns out it is not a big piece of furniture. It's a bunch of folding tables. We're closing up shop. Most of that stack of pallets is gone, thankfully. And we've got this sign out now. Now I'm gonna fix something that, frankly, I should have done at the beginning of the sale. Can't do it before the sale. I have to do it the first Thursday of the sale or later, but I forgot to do it last time. Google says we're closed Wednesday because we were closed last Wednesday, but I have to fix that for next week. We'll go into here. Hours. Sunday is going to change to 1 o'clock because it's bag day. And then Wednesday we will be open from 8 until 4. And we just save that and we're good to go. These are gonna go out, and this is basically empty. These I'm just gonna do as uninspected furniture items for 25 bucks, and then the lamp, and then we'll finally have this whole row cleared out. This has had stuff for quite some time. We are all done and basically reset. Got the special buy stuff up. We brought 2 fresh pallets here. No one's gonna buy this for 5 bucks, but they'll dig and find stuff. Filled in this with fresh stuff. Filled in this area with Halloween. We got 2 more boxes coming up there. Everything's nice and pretty. And we are ready to go. Squishmallows are getting pretty low. I'm actually gonna try and quick edit this video so I can get it uploaded for tomorrow. Because we need a video for tomorrow. But that means Friday, if I continue with the 2 videos a week, will be too soon for part 3 of the sale. So there might be something in the middle, or we just won't do a video on Friday. We'll see. So despite it being a really disappointing sale, today rebounded $5,724 in sales. Looks like a $5 coupon was used, which brings us to $5,719. You know, the funny part is usually this is the worst day of the sale. The first Sunday is usually the worst, because Sundays historically don't perform that well. And the first Sunday, we're usually low on inventory, or people just aren't showing up. The second Sunday is bag day. So I guess the second Sunday is usually the lowest day of the sale, but I don't count bag day. So given that it's the only actual priced Sunday, it's usually the worst day of the sale. This one was the best day of the sale. So anyways, that was part 2. I will see you next... Yeah, I got confused. Next week in part 3, or maybe on Friday with another video that's completely unrelated to the sale.